Imagine waking up every single day filled with energy and feeling inspired. This is what you can have if you know who you want to be.
On today's episode, we're asking what do you want to be known for and how to shape your reality. So before we get started, what was the most frustrating thing that happened to you this week?
For me, it's just been work and like the number of cancellation that's been happening.
Mine was the consultation that I had yesterday.
Okay. Tell everyone what she did.
Some lady came in and she wanted to,
Okay, so she came in, I spoke to her first, right when she walked in, because we were finishing a video in the back room.
Yeah.
And when I walk up to her, I'm like, hey, how's it going? I just knew she wasn't going to sign up. Like, I know.
Sometimes you can just tell,
know, especially when they're a little bit younger. They're probably, very new immigrant. Maybe they're a student or they don't work. Like, they're not working a corporate or like a higher paying job.
Yeah.
Like, you could just tell just based on...
Some people do sign up.
Yeah, they surprise us. But
and they might have the financial stability too. But we know that our gym is catered more to like middle-aged people who have a family, etc. So he came in, he was always like, he was already like, I don't think she's going to sign up.
Yeah, right when I walked to the back.
And then I do the consultation and, we're talking, whatever, good vibe. She seems like she's down. And then I tell her the price and she stops and then she's like, oh, that's really cheap, don't you think? And then after that, I was like, my job is done. Okay, I don't need to sell her. She thinks it's cheap. She's going to purchase, the package. And then she did. She ended up writing everything down. She went home. I was like, yes, I got a sale.
Yeah, she tells me, she's like, I signed her up. And I'm like, what? Really? Like, it was just like one of those where I just knew she wasn't going to sign up. And then what happened after 30 minutes later?
After 30 minutes,
I look at my phone and we get a message saying, hi, I'd like to cancel my membership. And obviously, you're not going to not take that into account. Like you have to cancel someone that just signed up, especially. It's like, by law, you have to cancel them. So
and she did mention that too.
Yeah.
But
it seemed like she knew what she was doing because she freaking put the entire, like, we obviously know the law, and like she literally wrote it. She's like, as per the cool off period, blah blah blah. And it's like she's done it before.
It's just frustrating because people really just don't know how to communicate. If you had openly just told me, hey, the pricing, it's just not feasible for me right now. And she has a wedding as well, so I completely understand. I would have been like, okay, yeah, great. Well, we're here if you ever need us. That's it. But people just don't. Yeah, people just don't know how to communicate. It's so strange. Anyway. So what do you want to be known for, Rinda?
I want to be known as the person that's always happy and spreading positivity. That's what I want to be known for.
Okay.
And lives life to the fullest. And achieves everything that he wants to achieve.
Okay, the list just goes on and on.
Okay, what do you want to be known for?
Yeah, I get the same thing. I want to be...
Why do you copy me for everything?
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No,
I sent her a post earlier and it was like, people that you feel connected to, you literally just copy them in like body language and things like that.
Okay, but you copy me.
No.
In many instances, you copy me.
How often do I tell you you're such a copycat when you're like, I'm standing a type of way and you'll just stand that way too? I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Okay, anyway, yes, I want to be known as someone who is happy, jolly, spreads love whenever I walk into a room, and also someone who's helped a lot of people just improve their lives. So, yeah, that's cool. Like my main goal. Oh, also kids. I want to be known as someone who has raised very wonderful, wonderful kids one day.
Oh, you have kids, so.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Rinda, one day.
Yeah, one day.
In terms of what I want to be known for, I think it's taken me a while to get to that, to know that answer. There's various different reasons as to why I didn't know what I wanted to be known for before. And I think it comes down to expectations, because your expectations of me that you might have of me and my expectations of, who I am and what I want to achieve, that is basically going to shape who you want to be known as. And I feel like your expectations are shaped around like three things. One being people in this world. Second being people predominantly in your life. And then third is from experiences that you have. Let's say I wanted to break some sort of record and I wanted to run a race in a specific amount of time, but it's never been done before. And someone told me that I would never be able to do it. But then that is an expectation, right? So that's going to hold me back from what I want to be known for. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, some sort of external belief that the world has.
Yeah. And then going off the second point of people in your life, let's say when I was growing up, I wanted to be an actress. And then my parents were like, oh my gosh, no, you can't be an actress. There's only there's like a specific type of people that can be actresses and we're not wealthy enough or whatever it might be. Then again, that is an expectation that's holding me back from what I want to be known for. And then third is like what you experience in life. Let's say you grew up at an early age with a lot of love around you, then you're going to have that expectation that you're going to grow up with this, really loving relationship because that's all you've seen when you've grown up. Or let's say when you were a child, your family weren't very wealthy. You're going to have this expectation that there's only a certain amount of wealth that you can achieve in life. So I think those are the three things that really determine expectations in your life.
Okay.
But there are ways that you can change that.
So how do these expectations lead you to presenting yourself in a type of way in this world?
Let's say I had this expectation that I wanted to open up 10 gyms and I wanted to own 10 gyms, okay? If I didn't have that expectation, then I probably would not achieve that. And then I am not known for that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So your expectations are shaped by three different things.
Yeah.
The external world, like a general universal belief, which is attainable, not attainable.
Yeah.
The people around you.
Yes.
And then the actual experiences you've had, probably due to the people around you, or maybe not the people around you. So those three things shape the expectation that you have of what you want to become. Yeah. Right. And then based on that, then you start making these judgments of, okay, this is what I expect for myself. And those can be positive things, such as I'm going to change the world and solve world hunger. Okay, so that's one thing. Now, but it could be a negative thing. Someone that believes, no, it is impossible to solve world hunger because, again, a universal belief that you have. So I guess that kind of leads to you now having somewhat of like a brainwashing of what you are capable of or what you're not capable of. So I guess that creates the outcome of who you are and how you present yourself. Yeah. So what we need to tap into now is, what truly do you want? And is it a positive thing or is it a negative thing?
I think also if you work backwards, okay, and think, okay, what do I want to be known for? And then start shaping your expectations, that's probably a better way to do it. Yeah. Because then you're always going to have expectations for yourself. Other people are going to have expectations of you. You need to filter through all the expectations. Let's say my mom has an expectation that I'm going to be a doctor. No, just give an example, okay? Let's say, let me give you another example. Let's say my parents had this expectation that I have to become a doctor, okay? But then if I actually think, okay, but what do I want to be known as? Then I can filter out that expectation because everyone's expectation can be different. So you need to figure out, okay, what are my expectations? What expectation do I want to follow through with and kind of filter out all the other garbage.
Yeah, so I think that comes down to awareness now of like, okay, so this is this expectation that I have of myself and this is who I want to become. Especially if you get rid of any limiting belief, again, to an extent, if you think you're going to do something that's like not possible, especially with the technology that we have today, and assuming that the technology won't be available for the next 100 years and you can't create it for sure, then it's like, okay, you're just aiming on maybe a little too far. So obviously understanding what is actually possible and what's not possible. But from there, then now, again, setting the expectation of, okay, get rid of any limiting belief that you might have, because that's an entire different thing that people need to work on. But once you have like no limits, I can achieve anything that I want to. Now you have an idea of who you want to be, and then you can break down the habits that it requires to be that person and then working towards that. Yeah. So now that you have that, the second thing you need to start to understand is, who do you want to be? Why do you want to be this, right? Is there some sort of insecurity stemming from deep down of why you actually want to become that? And understanding that, like, a lot of people, they chase power or they chase respect or they want to be a leader of some sort. And it happens out of insecurity and it just leads to bad outcomes, right? We can see a lot of like world leaders and stuff and things not going the way that, most humans, at least with like a good heart, would not lead with or have, use their power towards these type of things. So the question is like, why did you want that in the first place, right? So if you can bring awareness to that, then you can actually change what you want and why you want it, right? And sometimes you don't need to change it. Sometimes you need to, once you have the awareness, you can still chase that power, but you can maybe use it for something more positive, right? Or you can still chase some sort of leadership role, but again, in a positive manner, right?
I think a lot of people don't even ask themselves that question. So going back to the topic of like habits and building those habits to create this person that you want to be known as, people aren't able to actually work on those habits because they don't even know what they want to be known as. So I think that is important as well.
So imagine this exercise. Imagine you can create the most optimal person that could ever exist, right? And they came to be today, in today's generation, they exist right now, but you're responsible for shaping them. So imagine you can shape them into this person in terms of personality, in terms of who they are, how they act within the world, the habits that they have, the goals that they have. Now imagine the things that they do day to day, right? So if that idealistic version is in front of you, that's clearly deep down what your thoughts are and what you probably want to, aim for. Because oftentimes when we start thinking about ourselves, some people limit themselves because, I'm not rich enough. I'm not, all these expectations that you have. If you believe deep down that you're not capable, you're not going to achieve anything. So if you create maybe a third person, again, imagine that person being this completely perfect person that can achieve anything. Now you can actually work towards that, right?
Yeah.
Now you can actually do the day-to-day habits that you've now created through that person. And now you actually know, okay, if that person was to exist in this world today, this is what they would be known for. They would be that person that spreads happiness. They smile at the person when they walk through the door, right? They say, hi, how are you doing? And I don't know, thank you, please, like respectful things, right? So when you start thinking and seeing the world through that lens, you start to create some change in terms of how you present yourself day to day.
Yeah. So they don't even think about, okay, what do I want to be known as? They just live day by day. I remember when I was like in such a stressed state. And at the time, I was so insecure about how I looked. And I was just down every single day. And I remember my parents wanted to go out for dinner. So we went out for dinner. And I was just like not in the greatest mood. I was sat there all moody. And then I was super insecure I had very bad acne at the time. So I was super insecure about my acne. And I would just get so annoyed when like people are looking at my face because I think that they were just like looking at my spots and whatever. And I was sat there. Obviously, anyone who spoke to me during that time probably thought like I was such a cow. But
Cow?
Yeah.
That's British for rude.
But
right?
Yeah, I guess. Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
And I remember the waiter just being so nice. Like he was so happy and radiant, just the way he was speaking to me and like his energy. And I remember after that, I specifically, what did you say?
I said he just wanted a tip. No, they don't have tipping culture there.
Tipping culture there. We were in some like small restaurant. He was so nice. And I remember leaving that restaurant and thinking, wow, like, and this was ages ago. This was in 2019. And I still remember his face. I still remember him. And I remember him as this happy person, someone who just had so much life in him. And I remember that just kind of flipped a switch in me. And I was like, why am I living like this day to day? Like, who do I actually want to present myself as and be?
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine you're known as the person that's like just lame or miserable, right? Like a lot of people are that, right? Like I can think of people and I'm like, oh, that person's just sad. You know what I mean? Like you just get sad vibes from them. It's not like not projecting judgment on onto this person, but it's like when I'm around this person, I just get like some sort of sad vibes, right? I start to feel a little down. But then there's the people where like on Monday morning, I went to the gym instead of Paneet, and I was coaching sessions, and I had a conversation. It was like 3 people, and they just energized me so much. And I was like, I just had such, and I messaged them like, wow, these guys just like, and I was like, I had a conversation with this person, this person, this person. Like, they just like created so much energy within me just by their conversation, right? And I think it's one of those things, especially like as a coach, the way we present ourselves, because we work with like a group of 6 at a time. Now it's 6 people that I'm now speaking to and potentially shaping the way that they're going to go home and what attitude they're going to take home, right?
Yeah.
Because of the energy I'm radiating out towards them. So it's oftentimes like, again, keep in mind that's you affect the energy of other people, right? You affect how other people are going to interact in the world.
Yeah.
But on top of that, they're also going to remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
So if you make someone feel the type of way, right?
Like at work, the biggest compliment is one, when clients get result, but another compliment I love from clients is when they're like, I love being into the gym. You guys are just the best. Like clients will say that you guys are just the best. Like, I love your energy. I just love being around you guys. That makes me feel so nice, because I think that 45 minutes you're spending with us, you're looking forward to, and you're enjoying the conversation, you're enjoying your workout. Like, I don't know, it just makes me feel so good. And there's this one TikTok that I had seen yesterday, and this girl was basically bashing her experience about she got her hair done by this hairdresser. She got some braids done, and she was just saying how, like, she didn't say hi. She had no she made no conversation with the client, and it was super awkward for her. And she was sat there for 5 hours. Her friend came, and then she was just like complaining about stuff to her friend, whatever. And then she made an apology video. And she said, yeah, like, I understand that I didn't speak, but I was just so drained. I had no energy in me to make a conversation. And a lot of my clients know that, because I work for such long periods of time. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, but that is not an excuse. Like, you're showing up every day. Just because you're working long hours does not mean you have the right to act in a type of way just because it suits you in that specific moment, right? Because again, she's gone and left your studio now, and this is the image she has of you. She's had such a bad experience, even though her braids looked so nice. Like, she had a bad experience, you know?
So I also, like, again, when someone is new and they're being onboarded at our gym, for example, like when we hired one of our coaches, or if we've had interns in the past, one of the things is, it's not about the fitness experience. We will teach you that over time and make sure that is great. But the one thing you just need to do every single time, if it's in your car, or if it's when you walk through the door, take a breath of fresh air, and you're bringing a completely different energy from what you were outside to inside, because you are now energizing someone else's day. That is your job. And I think it's just, the second point that I had was, somebody that feels like that, it's their problem isn't the fact that they had a long day. It's just they're not doing the things to energize themselves, right? And I feel like, because I've had this as well, where it's like a phase where, like, I'm not as high energy for maybe a week or two, and I'll catch myself, and it's like, okay, I probably haven't been working out properly, or I wasn't eating properly, or I wasn't, I was using my brain power on unnecessary things. And it's like, once you get rid of overstimulation, once you get rid of, maybe sugars and additives and all these nasty foods, when you're feeding your mind and your body the right things, you're going to get the right outcomes, and you're going to have that energy. And then, if not, maybe just take a day or two to, again, catch yourself, find yourself where you can, right?
It all goes back to awareness though, right? Like, being aware of, okay, am I this type of person? Do I complain a lot? Like, what are my traits right now?
And catching yourself. Because, like, I'm somebody that tries not to complain a lot, but there's phases where I complain a lot, and I'm like, crap, like, what am I doing right now, right? And it's just like, you just have to catch yourself. You have to be aware.
And then I think some people are just so caught up with maybe external things that are going on in their life. They don't know who they exactly are right now in this specific moment. So how are they meant to know who they want to become? Let's say, like, you're in a toxic relationship and you're chasing this belonging from someone. You're not even thinking about, okay, what do I want, and who do I want to become?
I think we all chase connection. That's like a baseline. We all chase connection based, regardless of where that's from. So step one, just freaking get out and take a step back and figure out, where am I getting my connection from? And is it a positive thing for me? Is this long-term going to be beneficial? Yeah, you need to not be in toxic situations. You cannot exist there. Like, it's just
Yeah.
like, regardless, like, your life is just, you're going to waste time and waste years. Like, you either improve it or you get out of it right away and you move on, because time is so limited, and we need to live with a little bit of urgency in terms of life,
Yeah.
I think, in terms of becoming who you want to be at a faster rate. Like, you need to get there.
But you can only become who you want to be if you're currently content with who you are right now. Like, if you're insecure about things and you're not willing to actually face yourself day to day, then how are you meant to?
Yeah, but I think that person needs to also then have that awareness of, okay, if I was this person who was not insecure, so whatever your problem is, if I was not this person that was insecure, how would I present myself today? Right? That's
Yeah.
that's like the baseline question. If I was not this person that was obsessed with my image, how would I present myself today? If you ask yourself, if you replace that with anything that you feel like you're going through, just literally, you can replace that sentence with what you think you're going through, and then think of who that person would be, and you can journal on it. You can think about it, and then try your best to present yourself in that way. It can be just one thing at a time too, right? You don't have to be like, okay, if I wanted to be this super productive person like Alex Hermosi, right? You know, I was going to say that. I would now present myself, and I would wear freaking nose tape, and I would, wake up at 4 a.m. and start working right away. And I would have tons of caffeine and nicotine and whatever else he has, right? And I would just work. And then I would have terrible, food for lunch. And then I would just keep working again, right? That might not be it. But if you want to be somebody who is productive and that's the image you want to fulfill, it's like, okay, I'm going to have one work block, and I'm going to make sure I get that work block of 90 minutes done. Cool. You made progress towards that person, right? Especially if you didn't have that 90-minute work block before. You'll probably get a lot done, especially if you can get focused.
Yeah.
So whatever it might be, fitness, right? It's like, oh, I want to be this person that wants to be in the best shape of my life. Okay. How would that person present themselves? Would they eat the cookies at night? Probably not. It's not that hard not to eat them. Just shut up and don't eat them. You know what I mean? Like, yes, there's a part that's, there's a psychological part, but if you're just doing one thing, we all have the mental bandwidth to do one thing.
Yeah.
The problem is when you overshoot, a lot of people don't have the mental bandwidth to do 100 things. And what I mean by mental bandwidth is just space in your mind, because there's so much going on in your life and overwhelm and so many things happening. You have the strength and that willpower deep down to do one thing. If you do that one thing, you'll start consistently making progress on that one thing. Then you can add another thing. So there's different layers and different levels to who we work with as coaches, right? Some people, they can handle everything all together. Some people, it's just like, hey, one thing, let's make progress and let's work on your general ability to sustain this one thing for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And then we'll make a second change.
I think if you look at people who actually know who they want to become in life and are very inspirational, very well known, maybe they're not well known, but just inspiration. Actually, yeah, you don't have to be well known, but someone who's happy, lives a good life, lives a happy life, helps others, etc. They all have certain habits that they stick to, healthy habits, like not having toxic relationships, spending time on their own to reflect on themselves, having a good work environment. Also, healthy habits that you might have every day, like not eating out all the time, waking up at a decent time, having a morning routine. I feel like successful people who know who they want to become have these habits. So if you're someone who's engaging in weird conversations and wasting your time and not doing the little things that you should be doing day to day to live that life, then you're just not going to become that person.
I think some things, like engaging in negative conversations, just stay away from that. It'll happen, right? That's a natural human tendency. We like to talk about gossip and stuff, but you try to disengage as much as possible. But another thing that a habit that they have is, again, they're not overly stuck on any substance, whether that's alcohol or weed or caffeine or whatever, even caffeine, right? Like most of them are not overly dependent on anything, right? Dependency in itself is a problem. But going from that point that you mentioned, it's like, some people are not famous or, well known. You might be inspiring to your family. You might be inspiring to your community. You might be inspiring to your city, then your country, the world. You know what I mean? So there's different levels to it. And oftentimes you can impact just one person.
Yeah.
And that, it's like, I think is what Tupac is like, I'm not trying to inspire full community. I'm trying to inspire the one brain that's going to go. I'm not going to change the world. I'm trying to inspire the one person that's going to change the world. Something like that, right?
Okay, yeah.
So it's like, sometimes it's not, you can create a small change in one person. That person has a massive change on way more people, right? And it's that chain reaction that we want to create, is over time being able to help more and more people. For us, it's like through fitness and health and mindset, right? If we can help people with that, we've done what we think is, our positive impact on the world.
Yeah. So to finish things off, what are some actionable things that people can do to create a plan or have some sort of idea to become the person that they want to be?
Yeah, I think, again, you need to reflect on what you want in this world. And that can be a big question in itself for some people. So if you don't know the answer to that, just ask yourself, what am I not happy with, right? Now, again, ask yourself that question. If I was this person that was happy with that one thing you're not happy with, how would I present myself? I think that one question is just such a game changer, because then you can now figure out the habits of that person, then execute on that. I think that's like my answer to that. What about you?
Yeah, I think the same. And then I also think, like we had touched upon before, awareness. So being aware of certain habits that you might have now, or things that are holding you back from becoming that person, and then working towards that and working on those habits.
Okay, Pani. So how would I set boundaries with people who drain my energy?
I think the first thing is acknowledging this relationship that you have with this specific person. Is it very important? Are you like very close to this person? Is it easy for me to just kind of
distance?
Yeah. Is it easy for me to distance myself from this person? Or do I actually have a strong relationship with this person, but, I just don't feel good after being with them right now? So I think that's one thing to think about, is the importance of the relationship. And then secondly, I think, yes, people can drain you, but you can't allow people to drain your energy to a certain extent, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You need to have control over that. We're always going to be surrounded by people who aren't on the same wavelength as us. So just knowing when your brain kind of needs to shut off in a certain situation, I think.
Yeah. Especially, I think, work environments, especially if you work like a corporate type job, you're going to be surrounded with so many people with so many different walks of life, from so many different walks of life. So that's naturally going to happen. And sometimes as you get older within friend circles, you'll start to have that as well. But primarily, I think it comes down to either distant family or work environments.
Yeah. It could be someone close to you. You never know, right? Yeah. And then third thing is trying to approach the situation with love, in my opinion. So having compassion for that person. Is that person going through something right now? And then not letting your ego kick in as well and think, I need to change this person and how they are. And this is not right because they're acting like this and that. Because at the end of the day, that's not my job. I can only control the way I think and the way I act in that situation. So if you are in a situation where someone's being negative and it's draining you, just try to show that person love and compassion.
The lawnmower guy outside drains us.
And try to just be compassionate and think, okay, they might be going through something. Yes, maybe that's not the same way I would act. Because I've been in situations where people are going through stuff and then they'll start acting a type of way with me, even though I haven't done something. And then I start to think, okay, like, what's going on? Have I done something? Like, am I in the wrong? But now I have come to realize it actually has nothing to do with me. I just need to be the happy person that I am, share love, and just go on with my life. And
Words
then
of wisdom.
And then, just setting boundaries. Like, we've been in situations where we can get drained from people, just the conversation or whatever that we're having with them. Yeah, so maybe we aren't going to see them as often, or maybe we won't see them in specific environments, or whatever you have to do to help create a healthier environment for you.
Yeah. And I think the thing is, it just goes down to, why do you need this energy? What do you need it for? And once you understand the importance of what you're using your energy for day to day, then you will prioritize your energy. Because if you know, oh, I'm trying to get this done, or I'm trying to become this person, or have this impact on this part of the world, you have a why behind protecting your energy.
Yeah.
Right. And it sounds like, again, all woo, like I'm trying to protect my energy. I'm better than somebody. No, it's not that. It's just, again, you know what makes you feel good and what makes you not feel good. That's all it is.
And then also, last thing is realizing that if you look at people as being good people, you're never going to think negatively of them. They're just good people going through something. And again, just showing compassion towards that, because then that's just switching your mind frame.
Yeah.
And again, that's going to help you with not feel so negatively about the situation. And your question is how to stay motivated with work.
We'll have phases where you're not motivated, completely normal. But the biggest thing that I found for myself to stay motivated is having something creative to work on all the time. So for me right now, it's creating content, even though, again, I don't think my content's the greatest. It's just the expression of creativity creates inspiration in the mind, I think. Right?
But you're doing it now. Build more of a rhythm and then it'll get better. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not really concerned about that so much. I'm more so concerned about the fact that, again, it just creates inspiration for me. Like creativity equals inspiration. And if you can always find some sort of creative thing to work on, whether it's writing or you can start writing a book about what you're doing, even if it's completely irrelevant to your work, right? In the sense of like you work a corporate job and you decide, hey, on the side, I'm going to start writing a book about my experiences. That expression of creativity leads you to feel less burnt out and feel a little more motivated because you're like, oh, I'm going to go into work. I'm going to try and pay attention to the things that I'm doing day to day. And then when you pay attention, then you're going to come back and write about it, right? I think finding a piece of creativity will lead your brain to now find some of the boring things more fun. And again, naturally, parts of work will always be boring. And I think, again, especially if you're running a business that requires a lot of energy, there will be points where, again, you'll have phases where you're a little bored, but it's also the pursuit of something as well that creates excitement. Naturally, I think, especially in today's generation, we're all chasing the reward. When it's not the reward that creates excitement. It's, again, the pursuit of that reward, which is like way more fun because you have something to work towards. If you had nothing to work towards, you would not feel good. But it's because we constantly see people that have already achieved it, we start to feel bad about ourselves. But that reward in itself creates zero happiness. It's just the pursuit. So pursue hard things and do creative things, and work will be more fun and life will be more fun.
And that was episode 7 of the Perspectiv Podcast. We'll see you next week.